in addition to doing our work around historic Ozark cuisine, one of the things that we're trying to do here is redefine fine dining. And I think that's important for me anyway, professionally at this point in my career. As I look at the state of the planet, as I look at our community and the socio-political things going on, and I think food is an important role in our culture, obviously, and the choices that chefs make a difference. At whatever point in our history that chefs were elevated through things like Food Network, all of a sudden people are watching and listening to what chefs do and say. And so here at Bull Rush, we like to push the limits a little bit. We like to say that fine dining should be something more meaningful than just a good meal or a nice night out. And so there's a couple things that we do to that aspect, and part of it we're going to talk about throughout the night. That's all the research. But also, this is about redefining what it means to be fine dining, and for us that's local sourcing. This is not a new thing, but it's the thoughtfulness of why we do it. When we look at the planet today and we look at agriculture systems, we look at factory farming and some of the implications of that, I think there's something to be said for taking a more artistic or boutique approach to gathering our ingredients. We do this by being very excessively locally sourced. We do a lot of foraging. Most of it I do myself. I engage the team whenever they're willing to wake up early with me. And we go out and we gather local ingredients, staying in season, making sure that we are respectful to the land and the wildlife so that the next year the forage will come back even stronger. The farmed things, though, that's about economy, that's about freshness, and a little bit flavor diversity. And so we work with local farmers, not just buying the stuff that you would find at the farmers markets, but the stuff that would otherwise be waste, those blemished produce items that at the farmers market you might overlook. We take them because I'm not going to just put a tomato on a plate and say, here, enjoy. We're going to do something with it. And so it helps the farmers out because they're making money off of things that otherwise would go in their compost heap. And so that's really important to us. I think the day and age of flying fancy ingredients in from around the world or around the country should be gone. And I think more and more as time goes on here, we're going to see more restaurants jump on board with this. That is no longer moral or ethical or sustainable to fly an ingredient across the country on an airplane just for you to have 30 seconds of a meal or of a dish. So that's one thing. The other is our zero waste philosophy. And for us, we average 5 gallons of food waste a week. And when I say that our food waste is actually compost, it goes to my own community garden where it gets turned into compost that goes back into the garden. And we do that in a number of ways, and I'm going to talk about that later in the evening. The last thing that I want to mention, so you can finally get to your dish, this is something that's growing increasingly important for me, and that's properly attributing where our food comes from. And that's something that we don't talk about too much because I do want you to just be able to enjoy your meal. But the food that we have in this area has come from someone in the past, and so we work hard to properly attribute that through our research.